The little boy stood silently beside the bakery display, his eyes fixed on a blue birthday cake covered with tiny race cars. He smiled at it for one last moment before his mother quietly asked the baker to cancel the order because she couldn't afford to pay the remaining balance. The smile disappeared from the child's face, but he didn't cry. Instead, he whispered that birthdays were just another day and that maybe they could celebrate next year. A single father waiting behind them heard every word. What he chose to do next brought the exhausted mother to tears and reminded an entire town that the greatest gifts are often given by people carrying their own hidden pain. If you believe kindness is more valuable than money, compassion changes lives, and everyone deserves hope and a second chance, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel for more emotional stories that remind us what truly matters. Nathan Brooks had been raising his 8-year-old daughter, Ellie, alone ever since his wife passed away from a sudden illness 4 years earlier. Grief had changed everything about his life. He sold the family home, left his office job, and opened a small bicycle repair shop that allowed him to spend more time with Ellie. The business barely covered their expenses. Some months were easier than others. Still, Nathan believed being present for his daughter mattered more than chasing a larger paycheck. Ellie had inherited her mother's gentle heart. Whenever customers couldn't afford repairs, she quietly suggested simple solutions that saved them money. Nathan often smiled because he saw so much of his late wife in their little girl. On one sunny Friday afternoon, Nathan closed the repair shop early to pick up Ellie's birthday cupcakes from the neighborhood bakery. While waiting in line, he noticed a young mother speaking softly with the bakery owner. Her name was Grace Porter. Grace worked mornings at a grocery store before spending afternoons caring for her 6-year-old son, Liam. Since her husband had abandoned the family years earlier, every bill rested on her shoulders alone. Earlier that month she had confidently ordered Liam's first custom birthday cake. She truly believed she would have enough money before pickup day. But 2 unexpected medical prescriptions for Liam's asthma had changed everything. Standing at the counter with trembling hands, Grace apologized repeatedly as she explained she could no longer afford the remaining payment. She asked whether the bakery could simply sell the cake to someone else. The owner kindly agreed, though disappointment filled his face. Liam looked at the colorful cake one final time. Then he gently held his mother's hand. Instead of complaining, he smiled bravely and whispered that birthdays happened every year. Maybe next year would be better. Nathan felt his heart tighten. Those exact words reminded him of something Ellie had once said after her mother's funeral when Christmas decorations filled every store. She had quietly told him they could celebrate properly another year. No child should carry disappointment with such maturity. Without saying a word, Nathan stepped away from the line. He quietly spoke with the bakery owner. Minutes later, Grace prepared to leave. The owner suddenly stopped her. He smiled warmly before carrying the birthday cake toward Liam. Confused, Grace insisted there had been some mistake. The baker simply explained that a customer had already paid the remaining balance. Nathan pretended to examine greeting cards nearby. He hoped they would never discover it was him. But little Liam noticed. Children often see what adults miss. He ran toward Nathan and hugged him tightly around the waist. Grace quickly followed, tears already filling her eyes. She tried to return the money someday. Nathan gently refused. Instead, he asked only one thing. He wanted Liam to enjoy every single candle on that cake. Grace could barely speak. That afternoon she invited Nathan and Ellie to the small birthday celebration held in the local park. The decorations were simple. Paper streamers fluttered beneath bright afternoon sunshine. Homemade sandwiches covered folding tables. Children laughed while chasing bubbles across the grass. Liam proudly carried the cake to the picnic table as though it were the greatest treasure in the world. Watching him smile filled Nathan with unexpected peace. For the first time in years, birthdays no longer reminded him only of loss. They reminded him that joy could still be shared. Over the following months, the two families crossed paths frequently. Ellie and Liam became close friends. Nathan occasionally repaired Grace's old bicycle free of charge so she could travel to work more easily. Grace quietly baked fresh bread for Nathan and Ellie whenever she had extra ingredients. Neither family considered these favors. They simply looked after one another. One autumn afternoon, disaster nearly struck Nathan's repair shop. A burst water pipe flooded the building, destroying expensive tools and damaging nearly every bicycle waiting for repair. Insurance covered only part of the loss. Nathan feared losing the business he had fought so hard to build. News spread quickly through the neighborhood. The following weekend, something extraordinary happened. Customers arrived carrying donated tools. Local businesses contributed replacement equipment. Parents organized a fundraising ride across town. Children sold homemade lemonade. Grace spent 2 nights baking hundreds of cookies for volunteers. Even the bakery owner donated every loaf of bread sold that Saturday. By sunset, enough money had been raised not only to repair the shop but also to expand it. Nathan stood speechless. He realized one small act of kindness had quietly grown into an entire community looking after one another. Months later, the bicycle shop reopened with a colorful mural painted by neighborhood children. Near the entrance hung a small wooden sign. It read, "Kindness always finds its way home." Every customer asked about the sign. Nathan always smiled before explaining that it began with a birthday cake and a little boy who thought he had to wait another year to celebrate. Years passed. Ellie and Liam grew older together. Grace eventually became the bakery's full-time manager. Nathan's repair shop evolved into a successful community cycling center teaching children road safety and mechanical skills. Neither family ever forgot the afternoon their lives first crossed paths. Not because of the cake itself, but because someone had chosen compassion without expecting recognition. Before this story comes to an end, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever received an unexpected act of kindness that changed your life? Please leave a meaningful comment below because your story may become the encouragement someone else needs today. As another warm afternoon sunlight filled the neighborhood park years later, Nathan watched Ellie and Liam laughing together while younger children celebrated birthdays beneath colorful balloons. Looking around, he realized that the greatest investment he had ever made wasn't in bicycles, tools, or business. It was the quiet decision to help a stranger during one difficult afternoon. Sometimes a birthday cake feeds far more than a celebration. Sometimes it restores hope, creates lifelong friendships, and reminds an entire community that the smallest acts of generosity often become the biggest miracles. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. Remember, kindness never truly disappears. It simply waits for the perfect moment to return to the heart that first gave it.